Okay, so the final Twilight film, Breaking Dawn, was released about 2 weeks ago, I think. It's November 26th. Again, I'm just going to post this ahead of some other stuff because I feel like this is important and a little bit more relevant. But Breaking Dawn was released recently. And ever since the books came out and the movies came out, there's been kind of a back and forth between young adults basically as to the quality of the books, whether or not they're good or bad, what kind of literature they are. And I know a lot of people um, who just consider them complete and utter shit. Horrid crap, horridly written, horridly edited, just like not just that, but like the content and the characters is just appalling. And then on the other side, I have friends that think they're really good, and while they might not be deep intellectual pieces of work, they're nice rainy day sort of books that you can read to forget everything and just kind of relax. Um, I agree with both sides. They're complete and utter shit, and Bella's like really creepily dependent. But on the other side, like they are something that I own all the books. I've read them, most of them like at least twice. And they're books that are when I'm kind of just feeling really not happy, I can read and feel better with myself about. Like they're just soothing to read, which sounds weird, but they don't distress me in the way some of the more like philosophic texts do. But last year I had to write a paper for some contest essay thing, and I chose the merits of teen lit. And while you can say that Twilight is not the most intellectual of literary pieces, there are a lot of benefits and merits to reading them and to them being produced. For one, they lead kids to read in general. I know a lot of people who like don't really enjoy reading as a pastime, but Twilight books are the exception, and through Twilight books they can be opened up to other books because if you've ever read them, the main character Bella Swan is like really into classics, Jane Austen, the Brontes, etc. And a couple years ago, Barnes and Noble launched a marketing scheme that I thought was really kind of clever, where they recovered a lot of old classics like Romeo and Juliet, Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, to look kind of like the Twilight covers, with a black background and like a red or white like main central thing, which was usually like a flower of some sort, and market them as the original dark romances or whatever, which I was like, that's really clever because they're mentioned and like people went to the music that was mentioned in the book and that Stephenie Meyer said she enjoyed. Why wouldn't they go towards the book she mentioned and says she was inspired from? So it leads kids to classics like Pride and Prejudice and Romeo and Juliet, which are awesome books and will lead you to read even more awesome books because they are that awesome. Um, which that's pretty cool. Besides this, they open up a lot of interesting economic niches. Besides not only just films, I mean, we look at things like Percy Jackson, the Harry Potter movies, Hunger Games, and the Twilight Saga. Like, they've opened up a whole new market of films and merchandise. Like, Hot Topic these days, have you seen all the merch they have there? Just from young adult books. Like, 30 years ago, young adult fiction was not nearly as big as it is now, especially not paranormal young adult fiction. Like, we have created something that is just awesome and huge. And I have to say, it's probably all because of Harry Potter. Like, I almost wrote a paper on this, but it's kind of a cliche topic, and it's generally acknowledged that Harry Potter sparked a new love of young adult and um, children's literature. I think that's pretty awesome. We, as young adults and children, have created this new market empire of books, and that's pretty cool. I mean, not only that, we've inspired awesome movies. We've created jobs by making this awesome merchandise. Everything from pillows with Taylor Lautner's face on them to Hunger Games necklaces and Hogwarts robes and whatever else you could think of. Really, it's pretty endless. And finally, it creates, like, young adult literature has created a community in several different fashions. Like, there are several, of course, there are many, like, fan websites. Tumblr, basically, at least the majority of Tumblr I'm on is fandom based. A lot of that being Harry Potter and, fandoms based around young adults and TV shows and movies and books and stuff. Um, it creates a community and it creates connections across the globe because of our common interests, and that of course has to also be attributed to the internet. But I mean, it was like, this community has been sparked by books and movies and things marketed towards us. This also can bring about awesome change. I don't know if any of you are Nerdfighters or familiar with John and Hank Green and their Vlogbrothers community of Nerdfighteria. But not only is it a really cool community to be part of that's filled with, like, kinship and warm feelings and stuff like that, but it also is a driving force towards making the world suck less. I don't remember exactly how much they raised last year in their project for Awesome, but it was a lot of money. Not only that, but they've also sponsored Kiva, which provides loans to people around the world that want to, like, start small businesses and stuff. The loans are paid back. Like, it's pretty legit. Like, Nerdfighteria and Project for Awesome and This Star Won't Go Out and the Vlogbrothers and all these things that were started by John Green because he had a platform, because he's a young adult author, and through that he created a platform for himself to make the world suck less that has been sponsored by teenagers and young adults around the world. Like, how awesome is that? They're raising money for charities, things like building wells in Africa, like supporting people in Haiti after the storms, supporting families that have children with cancer. Like, that's pretty awesome for a bunch of young adults and teenagers to do. We're not like a bunch of billionaires that get together at fancy dress galas and balls or whatever. We're kids that are coming together to support an awesome cause. Like, that's pretty cool in my mind. Young adult fiction and literature is not fluffy vampires and werewolves and true love and suicide and heartbreak. No, it's a lot more than that. It's the people behind it writing it, and it's the people there reading it. Like, the community it creates. Like, what other books have done this? Seriously. Like, in the history of literature, nothing. There's never been a theme park made dedicated to, like, any of Dickens' books ever. Like, Shakespeare's pretty awesome, and he's, like, started it, like, he has his own, like, theater company. He didn't start it, but he has the Royal Shakespeare Theater Company, but there's not a theme park based around him. You don't see that. No, you don't see websites dedicated to clothing based around his stuff. You see Shakespeare tattoos, but you don't see, like, loads of them, like John Green tattoos. I've seen tons of people with John Green quotes all over them. It's awesome. That is freaking cool. And that is young adult literature. And that's why young adult literature is freaking awesome. And no matter what you say about Twilight and Harry Potter and Artemis Fowl and Percy Jackson and Hunger Games or Harry Potter or any of that, like, there are awesome things that come out of it. Beautiful, brilliant things. So those are my thoughts on the merits of teen literature and young adult literature and paranormal literature. I'll talk to you later. There are days when I wish I had a legitimate camera to film these with. However, that might not happen for a while. I've been wanting to get, like, a flip or a vloggy or whatever they're called. I bought one on my Christmas list last year. But for whatever reason, like, it didn't happen, and that's fine. That's whatever. Like, I don't expect my parents to buy me everything. I have this lovely laptop, and that's all I need. So, anyways, that's my catchphrase. So, anyways, I should get that on a t-shirt. No. Um, I just wanted to say that I got a recent message on Tumblr from an anon person about my vlogs. And first off, I wanted to say, oh my god, somebody actually watches them. I average about 6 views on YouTube, so that makes me feel awesome. But also, like they were just like, I love your vlog, and I followed you for a while, and I just like your eyes looked really sad. Is everything okay? That's not exactly what they said. I'm just paraphrasing. If I actually had it in front of me, I'd read it for reals. But that's basically the gist of it. And I responded back that things have just been stressful lately, and I, freshman in college, relationship issues, all that jazz. Nothing incredibly exciting, but stressful. Um, but it means so much to me that you care. I don't know who you are, but thank you very much that you care about me and wish that I am happier, because I will try my very best to both look and actually be happier. Okay, thanks, bye.